Hi everyone. Today we'll talk about few BPM, that is workflow, and BIP errors that we encounter and what are the solutions for that. So I've encountered like three scenarios. Two are of BPM and one is for um, OTBI report. Uh, so we'll discuss the scenarios and what are the solutions for that. We will discuss one for OTBI, two for workflow, and few for BIP reports, both technical and configuration settings, how to do them. So one of first things which if you if you are into workflow or BPM and you need AP invoice approval, but in few cases it doesn't trigger, so that is the issue. um, and the module or offering is payables. So if the workflow is not firing for newly created invoices, then what to do? In BPM, what is the cost for this? That for if any newly created invoices are there, the workflow is not firing for them. That's why you don't have AP invoice approval is not getting triggered. So the cause is no conditions are met in business process management, or either another cause could be invoice lacks the supplier site information. So one thing is that for this workflow to fire for newly created invoices, for that particular invoice, there should be some conditions or criteria that should be written in business process management. Or the invoice, if it's the invoice is lacking the supplier site, then also you won't have AP invoice approval. Okay, so what is the solution for this? First one is check the manage task configurations. In that, check for finance AP invoice approval. We have to ensure that here the invoice type is correct, because for that particular invoice type we need to make sure that first of all make sure that the invoice type is correct, and second one, the supplier site is assigned to that particular invoice type. So these two things. The third one is we can use monitor approvals to trace. Okay, so this is the solution for if you're for newly created invoices, if you don't have in BPM, if you don't have AP invoice approvals getting triggered. Second one for workflow is like let's say for a particular supplier, for a specific supplier, if PO approval workflow is skipped. So in which, what is the module for this? Where to check is, or the modular offering for this is procurement. And the issue here is either, uh, just a moment, here, despite exceeding amount limit, the PO got auto approved. So usually for a particular supplier, or if we decide on an amount, let's say $10,000 or $5,000, we have to write a condition, a BPM rule. It could be based for a specific supplier type for a particular supplier, or it could be based on the amount as well. So in if this despite exceeding the amount limit, let's say if my particular PO is exceeding $10,000, despite exceeding that, it is skipped from uh, PO approval workflow is getting skipped for a particular supplier. In this case, what is happening is, so this is skipping the, it is getting auto approved. Why it is getting auto approved? The cause is here in the workflow or in the BPM, we have to write a condition or rule, okay, for the missing supplier. So here it is missing the supplier condition, that for this supplier, uh, if this amount is exceeded, or for this particular amount, you need to go through this approval process, not the standard one. So what we can do here, what is the solution, is we can go to BPM list, work list, we can go to finance AP document approval, and we can add a condition, or rather we can add a supplier specific or amount specific based rule. uh, Next thing is to test the rule with the sample input and deploy again. So these are the few OTBI and approval related things. Sorry, these are the approval related things for BPM. Um, One of the things which I encountered is custom DFF is so my OTBI report is missing the custom DFF values. So it could be in SCM or finance, any offering. So it is showing, it doesn't show the values from the custom DFF. So what is the cause? It is not exposed to the subject areas. Okay. So first of all, what is the solution for here is we have to go to manage descriptive flex fields. Here we need to set the context as BI enabled as yes, and again deploy the flex field and wait for the cache refresh. So in this way you can, if you have newly created custom DFF, you can add this and it could be visible in the OTBI report. Few things which I encountered reports, specifically few standard aura errors occur. So for those error errors, these are all whichever errors I'll be showing you right now are basically they come up in BI reports. So we'll be discussing each one along with what is wrong with it and how can you correct it. So the first one is, I just made a the first one is table or view doesn't exist. This is the most common error or a double 942. What is the issue here is either table or view doesn't exist in the database or is not accessible. So what is wrong here is either the object name is wrong or the schema name is wrong, or if I'm connected to one data source currently, then that particular object name that I'm trying to find, it doesn't exist there. Or it could also be a case that I have insufficient permissions. So what can be done for that is, first of all, verify the correct data source for wrong schema name or object name. Then if you have check the exact table or view name, we have to make sure that it is connected to that particular data source. uh, Again, in case of insufficient permission, I have to ensure that I have access to the that particular object. So let's say if I don't get data from xx underscore emp, then I have to make sure that its schema name hr, I have to mention the schema name there, hr dot xxemp. Okay. um, Second one is invalid identifier. It's the most common one, which like a lot of people do. So one thing is here, either the identifier or any the column in the query is invalid. That's what's shown. This is the aura error that comes. It could be reasons could be misspelled column name, or the column name doesn't exist in the table, or it could be we are using the reserved words or case sensitivity. What is the solution for that? Validate the column names from the table. So before you write a query, make sure that your column names are validated properly from the table. You're picking up the right column names, and also the corrected spelling and the case. Also avoid using the reserved words. So for example here, select, if you can see, if my table has xx underscore emp and you have emp name, I have written emp name there, whereas the actual name should be emp underscore name. Okay. um, that's one of the things. And invalid number. So a character value cannot be converted into a number. So what happens here is, uh, the error could be either the text is being compared to a number, a non-numeric character is entered in the numeric column, or there could be a implicit data type conversion. So how can you avoid these things? First of all, check the data type of the column. Okay. Second one is use to number with the validation. Third one is clear the whatever the exceptions, data exceptions or handle exceptions are there. So write for all those exceptions. Uh, Now, for example, you have where amount is equal to directly 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so instead of that, just write two number, and for that particular whatever the value you're using, so you can use two number instead, so that the non-numeric characters are not being in the numeric column. Okay. Third one is invalid, fourth one is invalid relational operator. So lots of times is the most, again, one of the common ones. Relational operator in the query is missing. So it could be missing or incorrect operator, like when you use like in between, or it could be a syntax error in the where clause. um, so what can you do? Review the SQL syntax, correct the operator usage, uh, test the query in parts. That's the one of the, if you have huge queries, make sure that you're testing the queries in parts so that it's easy to decode. One of the examples is this, like if you're using an in operator, the parenthesis is important, so you have to make sure that you're correctly using the operators. Fifth one is you cannot access rows from uh, non-nested table item. So if the table operator is used on a data type that is not a collection, let's say you have a value with a data type which is not a collection, but the table operator is being used, then this error comes. So you have, these could be the possible issues. using table on a non-collection type, or incorrect parameter type. For example, string instead of table type. So use the collection type parameters wherever required, avoid the table on the non collection data, and rewrite the query using supported methods. Okay. For example, uh, okay, I don't know if it's visible or not. I'll just upload the this particular syntax errors. Select start from table, where you have, let's say, plist is my another value, where it's not a collection type. So you have to use proper collection type in clause where with the string passing. These are few things which I've encountered repeatedly. So there was a comment on, there are actually a lot more with related to BIP and workflow and other stuff. So um, if it's possible, I'll upload those. So whatever I remember, I've uploaded these things. Um, Thank you.